Corrected my mistake here and I put in the actual standard error of the means, the correct data. Alright, that was a copy and paste error on my part. So let's go ahead and go back to modifying these error bars. And so again, I'm selecting my error bars, I'm going down to custom, and I'm specifying my values. For my positive error value, I want to select all my standard error. For my negative error value, make sure we don't forget to do this, I'm going to once again select all my standard error and press OK. Alright, now the standard error that's plotted on my chart is the standard error that I actually calculated. Alright, now before I move on, I just want to make sure that I am not going to forget to add in my primary horizontal axis title. Alright, and I'm just going to label this one date. Now, I graphed my temperature data and I graphed my average length data, but right now, unless I'm the one that graphed it, I have no clue which one's average length and which one's temperature. I need to add in a legend. Now, maybe your legend has been automatically added in for you, but if it hasn't, I'm going to go to Add Chart Element, go down to Legend. Oh, and I'm going to say, let's put mine at the bottom. I can always move this later. Alright, now notice it's populated as Series 1 and Series 2. Well, that's not helpful, so we got to change that. So once again, I'm going to right-click on my data, go to Select Data. Alright, this is where I added in my second data set. And I'm going to change the name. Alright, so, and if you forget which one is which, you can always click on your X value and your Y values, and it'll tell you which one is highlighted. Alright, I see my average length is highlighted there. I want to label this one average length. Alright, and for my Series 2, I know that one is my temperature. Alright, now notice that's automatically going to change your legend for you. You can choose to move your legend up or below, wherever you decide to put it. I like to put it in a place that's concise and condenses my graph, but it's not in the way of anything. Alright, now I'm looking at my data here. I'm thinking, well, I added it as a scatter plot. What if I want to make this a bar graph? I just want to see this as a bar graph. So I'm going to select my line with my data, right-click on it, and I can change my chart type, right? And I said I want to do a bar graph. So I'm going to change it to my bar graph. Right? Now that looks a little strange for my temperature data. I don't really like it. I can see that we're going into some negative values for temperature here. I think it looked better as a line graph, so I can change it back. I'm going to click on my data, right-click, and change it back to my line graph. Right? So that's an easy way to change the chart type without having to make a brand new graph. All right. So one thing that you might choose to do, right? So notice I measured my buds up until April 29th. All of a sudden I started measuring leaves because the leaves appeared. You might choose to show this on your graph. And you can do this by going up to the tabs at the top. You can go Insert. Now all the way to the right where it says Text, I'm going to add in a text box. Alright, now once I have it clicked, it's going to have me draw the text box. Alright, so I'm drawing it there. I'm going to say leaf emergence, because that is when my leaf emerged. I'm going to make it bigger so I can actually see it. Alright, now I'm going to draw an arrow to where I started measuring where these leaves emerged. So again, I'm going to go up to the top, Insert, I'm going to add an arrow, and I'm going to draw an arrow to that specific data point. Alright, so I can say leaf emergence happened on this date, which happens to be, if I look back here, April 29th, and I can see that lines up April 29th here. So hopefully this gets you started on making your figure with your two y-axes. Again, keep in mind that your Excel might look a little different depending on the version, but the same buttons and same features should be available to you.